Let's talk about earthing maybe and increasing your exclusion. We've said light and infrared, and that's crucially important. And for people listening out there, if you sitting in your car or behind a glass window, it cuts out the infrared from what I'm knowing. Maybe you want to confirm that because people think they can sit and the sun comes through the glass, but the infrared does not penetrate. The UV comes through, but the infrared or the red light doesn't penetrate. Is that correct?
Well, some wavelengths don't penetrate. That's correct. It depends. It depends on the on the way the glass is made, and I have no expertise in that. But the warmth does come through, and if the warmth comes through, then there probably is some degree of infrared that does come through. The general consensus is that it's really great to be out in the early morning or late afternoon. Then the reds are coming through, and the reds are important. It's not only the infrared, but we found some of the long wavelength, the reds that are very close to infrared. They also build easy water,
Mm.
and you can absorb them if you're out just after sunrise or before sunset, where the reds appear. But you mentioned earthing, or as we say, grounding, and but many people don't know that this idea of connecting yourself electrically to the ground promotes health. There are lots of theories about why it happens, and of course, I've got my own understanding, and my own understanding is very simple. When you connect yourself to the earth, you're connecting yourself to a vast sea of negative charge. The earth is not neutral. Um, I began my career studying electrical engineering, and no professor ever even hinted that the Earth was not neutral. You plug in into the receptacle, and that third prong, you presume, is connected to a vast sea of neutrality, zero electrical potential. And then I found that it wasn't so, and I learned that from a Russian guy who was in my laboratory, and he was telling me one day, as he was just about to return to Russia after 6 months in working in my lab, he said he was talking about the electric field of the Earth, and I said, Andre, you mean magnetic field of the Earth? I never heard of electric field of the Earth. He said, you never heard of it? Everybody knows it. I said, no, everybody doesn't know it. He said, don't you know that the Earth is negative and the ionosphere up there has positive charge, and it's like a capacitor with plus up there and minus down there, and an electric field that runs perpendicular to the surface of the Earth. I said, Andre, are you on some kind of drug? What are you talking about? I never heard of it. Well, next day, one of my students comes and brings me Feynman's lectures, the famous lectures of the legendary physicist and Nobel laureate Richard Feynman. It's a 3-volume book that's read by virtually every graduate student in physics. The guy had a sense of humor and he explained things carefully. Anyway, um, so volume 2, chapter 9, is a whole chapter on the electric field of the Earth and the negative charge of the Earth, including many references. So I was that really convinced me, but um, you know, I I went when Andre had told me that my head was swimming. I couldn't believe that
Mm.
this is the case, but the evidence is pretty clear. And I also confirmed, as he had intimated, that in Russia, every middle school student knew about the Earth's negative charge. And the hint or the implication was that in the US, the education was not up to par. And I confirmed with some senior people I know who are Russian. Oh, yeah, we learned in middle school, we learned that the Earth was negatively charged. However, I spoke to some young Russians who had just come to the US from Russia, and they never heard of it.
Wow.
So, same thing is happening in Russia as is happening virtually everywhere. A lot of what I think is essential information somehow gets lost,
Mm.
um, and it's up to us scientists to resurrect that, because some of that stuff is so critically important for everything. So anyway, if you connect yourself to the negative earth, what you're doing is you're drawing electrons from the earth, and any region of your body that's deficient in negative charge will welcome that negative charge that's arriving from the earth. And so it's going to build more easy water than exists. So if
Mm.
you have a full complement of easy water in every cell, then probably nothing is going to happen when you connect yourself electrically to the earth. But if some cells are deficient and therefore not functioning up to par, then connecting yourself to the earth will do major good for
Mm.
you. And that's what's observed. Practically every organ in the body can benefit by connection, uh, electrical connection to the earth.